Now, Democratic lawmakers are rushing to push the bipartisan infrastructure bill through the Senate before the end of this month, and Federal Reserve officials are debating on how much more stimulus money Americans should receive. According to multiple House and Senate Democratic sources with knowledge of the conversations, the White House's long sought after bipartisan infrastructure deal could hit the Senate floor as early as the week of July 19th. Everybody, this is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. I hope all of you guys are having a great day, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing the latest stimulus check information, so be sure to subscribe and give this video a like.
It says Social Security has gone broke. It is just factually not true. Social Security can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 19 years. And then we hear the argument, well, we have a large deficit. Social Security is one of the causes of our deficit and our national debt, and that is absolutely inaccurate.
Now, one White House official wrote in an email, as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said, he wants to move on both the bipartisan plan and the budget resolution during the upcoming July and August Senate session. Our understanding is that the process could begin as early as the week of July 19th, given that committees are still finalizing text for both the budget resolution and a bipartisan bill. The White House official also said, "We of course support going forward as fast as possible, but it would be a mistake to think of July 19th as anything more than the opening of a window." According to a source, Democratic staffers were also concerned the White House might be considering the sale of federal government property or assets as a way to pay for the bipartisan deal.
Important for all New Yorkers, which is the child tax credit that is going to be coming out and starting to hit people's pockets next week on July 15th. Congress expanded this credit in March as part of the American Rescue Plan so that hardworking families could get more relief and get it sooner.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has vowed that if there is a bipartisan bill to consider, it will happen before the Senate leaves for August recess. The group of moderate senators are aiming to draft their legislative language by next week in preparation for floor action. Lawmakers are still trying to figure out how exactly to make the revenue sources, which includes no new taxes, cover nearly $600 billion in new spending. Before breaking for July 4th, senators settled on using infrastructure privatization, an unused stimulus aid, and unspent unemployment benefits to help pay for the legislation. Senate Budget Committee Democrats are aiming to have both an overall spending number and the party's priorities for that massive bill laid out by early next week. The number must strike a balance between the chairman, Bernie Sanders, and his most moderate member, Senate Democrat Mark Warner. Now, there are many individuals and families that are clamoring for more money. A change that our petition is calling for $2,000 per month for every adult American, as well as $1,000 per child. That was started last year. This process has started last year and has now gathered 2.5 million signatures, and it continues to draw support. The idea of regular income from the government gained steam during the crisis. Recently, one Senate proposal called for $2,000 per month per individual, and up to $10,000 per family for the duration of the crisis. The bill was introduced and was supported by Senator Bernie Sanders and Ed Markey. New direct payments to families will be sent out soon, particularly the monthly child tax credit payments set to begin this month, have some calling the latest federal relief a universal basic income benefit experiment. Some families could get more than $14,000 in total payments. However, it remains to be seen whether some of those provisions could be extended or made permanent. Federal Reserve officials started discussing at their meetings last month the timing and mechanics of stimulus money. The debate revealed in the minutes of the Fed's June meeting released Wednesday reflected a broadly positive outlook on the economy among Fed policymakers. Most Fed officials expected inflation to decline in the coming months as some supply chain bottlenecks eased. Fed Chair Jerome Powell has repeatedly said that the recent jumps in consumer prices would be temporary and largely reflected disruptions surrounding the reopening of the economy. Nationwide, about 14.6 million people are receiving some form of job assistance. The unemployment rate stands at 5.9%, far higher than its pre-crisis level of 3.5%. And while businesses are hiring, there are still nearly 7 million fewer people on payrolls than before the crisis. A quarter of Americans struggled to pay their household expenses in the previous week. So, I believe that Congress should pass more stimulus relief checks for Americans that are still financially struggling before because of the crisis. That's all the news in this video, folks. If you guys found this video useful and helpful, feel free to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like.
15, 16, you're in a deep ditch. Now, many of these kids, to their credit, climb out on their own, but many cannot. This is going to help. And one of our goals in the upcoming Build Back Better plan is to extend this way beyond December 31st. Many of us would like to make it permanent, but we're going to extend it. It will be extended for sure for a very significant amount of time, and we'll see if we can get the permanence that we are fighting for. So this is very, very important for everybody. And I just want to repeat, because it's important. If you regularly file taxes and you filed your 2020 taxes, you're going to get the money. And by the way, what we arranged to do is have it come in monthly payments. Originally, it was going to be a check at the end of the year, but if you're a family in poverty struggling to pay the rent or put food on the table, you can't wait till the end of the year. One other thing, let's say you don't pay taxes, which many families do not. Their income is too low. It's called refundable. You get a check from the IRS anyway, not just money off your taxes, but you get a check. So, but if you make that low income that you don't pay taxes, you may not have. That's why we're here today, aside from spreading the good news. You have to file. And I just want to, well, they'll say it, but I want to say it too. I have it all here. Okay, you go to irs.gov, irs.gov. You click the CTC, Child Tax Credit tab. All you have to do is put in your full name, put in your current mailing address, put in your date of birth, and your valid social security numbers for you and your dependents, okay, if you have one. Now, if you're a parent who has an ITIN, which if you're not documented, you can get an ITIN, your kids, if they have a social security number, can still get. But the three of us want to change that in the Build Back Better bill, the new bill, so everyone can get it, whether you have a social security number or not. But right now, that's how the rules work. The Republicans back in 2017 made this happen. Before that, you could get it. So that's all you have to do. It's very simple. But go to the IRS site. And as Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez said, if you haven't filed your 2020 returns, most people have, you have to do that. Or 2019. So make sure you do. But this is a very, very good thing. We're very proud of it. It is going to help the vast majority of New Yorkers, but particularly our New Yorkers in poverty who struggle with their children. And it's going to pump money into New York's economy to get us out of this economic ditch that we are in through average people and poorer people, not through the high.